everyone and welcome to today's video. My name's Amy if you're new here, and today we have a thrift flip video. So I have been inspired by watching lots of thrift flips over lockdown and things like that, and learning how to kind of buy clothes secondhand and give them your own, like make them into your own style and just style them up in different ways, and including in that is kind of embroidering over things and doing little added bits on there that makes the things more you, which is what I'm going to be doing today. So if you'd like to see how I turn this Nike top into this Nike top, then just keep watching. So to start off, all you're going to need is a Nike top. You can obviously use any other brand. This I liked because it's got the embroidered logo on here, and another reason I like this was because it was £1 from the boot sale. So this has already been washed and everything, which is a good idea when you come back from the charity shops and the thrift stores, and if you're in America, or boot sales and things like that, just chuck everything in the wash, which means it's super sanitary and clean, especially during Corona time. So when I was looking out for a top, I was looking for a baggy men's Nike top, preferably with an embroidered logo. I have a feeling this will look better than just kind of the printed on logo, just because it's a bit more 3D anyway. So when I embroider my own embroidery, it doesn't kind of look super out of place. So I thought this was super cute. It's an XXL, so it's actually super big, which is actually kind of nice. It means I can wear it with cycling shorts, I can kind of tie it up, potentially could wear it as a t-shirt dress. So I thought this was super cute. I wanted grey because that's the inspiration pictures, but I wasn't too fussy, to be fair, and this is a great way to shop kind of more sustainably. I'm going to be doing a whole video on the steps I'm going to make to try and be shopping more sustainably and ethically, because it's just something I want to do, and in no way is it saying you should stop buying fast fashion and things like that. It's just me personally, I want to try and start doing that, and I'm by no means perfect. I still have shopped in fast fashion brands till really recently, like literally like last week I was scrolling through Pretty Little Thing, but I'm going to just try and be better. I've watched lots of videos on it, and I'm just trying to educate myself a bit more and just do it for, you know, just be a good human. And in doing that, I'm going to do my little pieces like this and kind of fill my wardrobe with more unique pieces. I was just watching Alexis Sunshine83, who I love, and she does thrift tours in America, and she was basically saying how when you go thrifting, you kind of learn your own fashion, because, and also I watched someone, it's like more Hannah, and I was watching, she was like, when you go thrifting, you will like learn your own fashion, because when you go to like any like H&M, Primark, Zara and all of that shops, the mannequins are already styled. You're kind of told how you should style stuff, and everything's already curated, so you kind of then subconsciously will shop like that, because if you see something multiple places, you're like, oh, maybe I want to jump on that trend. Whereas if you're shopping in thrift stores, you kind of got to hunt a bit more. It's not curated, it's not kind of all styled up already, so it kind of makes you think outside the box more, and maybe find your actual like your authentic fashion and what you like to wear. I definitely think thrifting's helped me find what shapes I like and what styles I know look nice on my body type, and kind of challenging me a little bit more. Plus it's cheap, so there's like so many benefits, but I'm not going to go into it too much now because I am going to do a whole separate video on that. Today I'm going to upcycle this top from this top to a super fancy embroidered funky top that I'm going to love. So if you'd like to see how I do it, then just keep watching. So to achieve the same sort of similar look you need, I'm actually going to use all the supplies I actually got from my nan. Her eyesight isn't super good anymore, so she can't do the crafts she used to love, but I'm kind of taking over the mantle, and I'm going to try and learn as many crafts as I can from her. So embroidery is definitely one of the things she had a lot of, so I'm quite lucky I've got some stuff there. So I've got an embroidery hoop, which obviously I'll show you how to use. This one's actually a super big one because I can't find any smaller ones, so I'm going to just roll with the super big one. You're also going to need a pencil, or you can get like pens that you draw on and the ink disappears, which is super fun, but I just roll with a pencil and kind of just go over the line. You're also going to need some scissors. These are actual specific kind of thread cutter scissors. You don't need these, I got them from Poundland, but you can just use regular scissors. Then in terms of thread, because I'm going to try and do these kind of lavender vibe things, I've got, my nan had organised these all into colours, so I've got a bag of green and a bag of purple. I don't think I'm going to need actually too much, because the thing I'm doing is actually going to be really small and probably only take me 5 minutes. So I will pick out a thread, and yeah, in both colours, and I will then show you how to thread that onto your needle, which is the last thing you need. And I'm putting that up there so I don't lose it, because I don't want to go into bed and sit on a needle. So I'm going to put it on the embroidery hoop and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so I tried to put you at a that angle to see. So obviously I've laid out my top just how it is. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your embroidery hoop. I've actually just started doing it as a practice. So you're going to get your embroidery hoop, and obviously that comes together like that. You're going to unscrew this so then it comes apart, and then you can get out your bottom hoop, which is what we need at the moment, so you can throw away the other one for now. So we're going to get to the bottom hoop and put it inside the shirt. Now you only want to put it inside, because if you put it on the back, then you're going to sew your top together, which is not what you want. So we're going to put it like that, so it's covering the logo. So as you can see, the circle is in there. We're then going to get our second embroidery hoop. Now the good idea to do this on a table rather than a squishy surface, because that just kind of makes your work a little bit harder. You're basically going to open it up and push it around the circle that's underneath, so the inner embroidery hoop. I don't know the technical names for that, but that sounds about right. Or you might need to loosen it a little bit more so you can get it on. But you'll basically want to sandwich the material in between and make sure again you haven't got the back, and then you're literally just going to tighten this screw so it's super tight and your material's on there. You want it as tight as possible, so you can also pull the sides just to make sure it's super tight, and then once you've got that, you're ready to start tracing on your pattern and then embroidering. Right, so now that's on there, it's time to trace out your pattern. It's up to you what pattern you use. I'm going to try and copy a picture on Pinterest, so I'm just going to get that up, so I kind of use that as reference. But obviously you can just freestyle this if you want to. If you're super creative, I'm sure you could. I am going to probably choose between this one and also mix it with kind of the vibes of this one as well, but I just kind of want to do these little French knots. I like doing them, so I'm going to probably just do 2 stems up and then draw kind of just a kind of outline of where I want them to go, and obviously I'll just embroider on top of them. So I'm literally just going to grab a pencil to do this. You'd want a sharp pencil, this one is not, and I'm just going to lightly draw over where I want my marks to go. So this is the green I've decided to use. I think the green goes quite nicely with the grey. I'll try and find what colour it is. This is colour 779 of Clark and Co, which I think is quite a popular brand. So what you're going to do is you're just kind of going to pull this loose end out, and you probably want about that long. I don't know how long that is, like just over 30 centimetres, maybe 40 centimetres, and you're then just going to grab your scissors and cut it. Obviously keep this one out, as this one's the one you're using. If you need more, you can go back to it. But to get the best result with embroidery, what you want to do is, you can kind of see there's always 6 strands of fabric or 6 strands of wool. You're going to split it, so it's 3 and 3. You can split it even finer. It just means how dainty you want it. So I do want it quite dainty, but I'm not so fussed about it being tiny. So I'm going to just split it into 3, and I find they're easier to work with. So as you can see, you literally can just kind of split it and then pull, and it will split the whole way down. So then you also get double as well, so it's a super good way to kind of make use. So you've got 2 lots, you're going to put one to the side, you can come back to that later, and this one you're going to thread onto your needle. So as you can see, there's the end of the needle, and you are literally just going to thread the thing through. This is the hardest part of embroidery. Oh, I did it first time. So you're going to take about that much out, so probably 5 to 10 centimetres over, and that's going to be your overlap, and then this is going to be your thread. I'm going to adjust the camera position, and then I'm going to... So what I've just done is I've kind of pushed the rest of the t-shirt so I can see kind of the back and the front, and they're kind of free, and I'm going to just rest it over my knee. So I've got no bits of double fabric, I've just got one bit, as you can see. There's the back, there's the front, which is a super good place to start. As you can see, my pencil lines didn't draw up too much on this, so I am just going to kind of freestyle it. That's what I normally do. I don't normally draw my designs on. So what you're going to do is, oh, my thread just untangled itself. So what you're going to do is, I'm going to thread the needle, as I said, make sure that's on there tight, and then at the other end you're going to do a couple of knots. I'm just going to stick that in there for now so I don't lose it, and I'm literally just going to do nothing fancy, just quite a few knots over each other. This is just where it will be in the back of the fabric to make sure it doesn't come off. So you're just going to keep on doing knots on top of each other until you've got a relatively thick knot that's not going to pop through the other side. Now what I'm going to do is, where I want to start, I'm going to go from the back, and as you can see, you can kind of see the needle poking up there. So I think I'm going to go there, push the needle through and pull it all the way up, and then going to go up a little bit further, push the needle in and pull it all the way. I'm then going to go up a tiny bit further and then pull through. I'm then going to go back on myself and do like a running stitch going back and forward. There are so many tutorials on how to do this, probably in a better quality than mine. I'm going to go right up to the Nike tick, but I'm actually going to have my leaves going behind it. But again, you're going through and then back down. That is where I'm going to stop for there. So what you then do, so to finish it off, we're going to turn it to the back. This is the back, so you can see that's where the knot started, which is turned around a bit. So that's where our knot is, that's the extra we had at the end, and then this is our little thread marks we've made. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your needle, you're going to put it through one of your threads you've made and pull it back. Before you go the whole way, you're going to put your needle through that loop you're making and just pull it tight. I'm going to do this a good couple of times, like literally 5 or 6, to make sure this really stays in place, and this is going to finish it off to make sure it doesn't come unthread. Then once you're happy you've secured the knot enough, you're going to literally just snip off. And also you want to snip off the first little bit you had, so where you had the knot at the start where there was any extra. And then as you can see, that's all that is on the back, so literally a tiniest little bit of thread, which is fine. So I've actually probably still got enough here, as we literally are just doing like 3 threads. So I'm going to re-knot the end and then repeat. So it's really actually quite hard to see because of the way I'm doing it in such a light green, but I do want this to be really subtle, and you can see it so much better in real life. Just for some reason it's not picking up on camera, but I've done my 2 stems, so I've got one here and one here. Now I'm going to be doing my kind of lavender sort of flowers, and we're doing this by doing a technique called French knots. So you are going to poke up the thread where you want it, poke the needle up, pull it all the way through as you normally would. You're then going to get the thread tight, get your needle, wrap the thread around 3 times or more depending on how big you want your knot, put the needle back through just adjacent to the hole you'd already made and pull it all the way through, and then you have a little knot. So I'm going to do that in various different colours and get back to you. So as you can see, I've done the flowers now, but I do think I need to kind of reinforce this green. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over it, and if it's still not showing up enough, I might put another like darker green over it, just so it shows up a bit more. But I'm super happy with it. It looks super cute, and I think it's going to be really fun. So I'm going to just reinforce the green, maybe put a leaf on, and yeah, just kind of play around it with it until I'm happy with it. I'm done. I'm just going to take it off. So what you can see is I just added a couple more leaves. So literally to do that, I just did the threads kind of up like that, and that's all I did. So I'm literally just going to take it off the hoop, which is always the hardest bit because I always do it so tight. So I'm just going to do that, and then I can kind of just pop that off. You may need to give your t-shirt an iron depending on the material because it may have made a mark, but as this is kind of a jersey material, I don't. And then that is the final top. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to style it and then show you the final result. So that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. There'll be plenty more thrift flips coming soon, I'm sure. If you did like it, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Comment what sort of things you like to thrift flip. Have you ever done one before? And subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one.